It's not just, white Republicans or, just die in the wool MAGA people who are upset and angry about the war on women that they are perpetuating in this country. The way in which they are trying to rob women of their complete identity in the name of wokeness or in the pursuit of the woke agenda. It is now a lot of black people who are saying, this is not right. This isn't surprising coming from the black community. You got to think like the black community is very evangelical, very Christian, very traditional. Like, even her from the perspective of a lesbian, she's like, why the hell would I be in a locker room with someone that has a penis? Like, that's not a crazy thing to think about. That's not a crazy thing to believe. A few years ago, it just would have been common sense. Like, why would someone want to put themselves in that position? But of course, it's crazy in the eyes of the left because they are just absolutely mindless and completely off the reservation and have lost the plot completely and entirely. Her name is Tish Hyman, and she's absolutely been blowing up online. And the story behind her is that she was at a gym in California. She lives in California, and she was actually banned from this gym because she did not want to be in the same locker room as a biological male who had been accused of violence against women, had been arrested for it, has a very, very shady history. And she actually confronted, in a very actually polite way, as much as you can be about an issue like this, a guy named Scott Wiener, who is actually running to succeed Nancy Pelosi in Congress. Of course, Nancy Pelosi this past week announced that she will no longer be running for re-election and she will be retiring. And she basically just pulled up on him. This guy, Scott Wiener, by the way, is terrible. He is the wokest of the woke. Every radical pro-LGBT thing, not even just like gay marriage. I mean, like the most radical stuff affecting children, minors, all of this stuff. He's in favor of it. He supports, children transitioning. He supports, I think there was also like a proposal that he put forth where like it wouldn't be criminalized if you knowingly spread certain STDs. Like this guy is absolutely deranged and not well, but of course probably makes him pretty popular in San Francisco, as you can imagine. But you guys got to hear her in her own words. It's an incredible sight to see. Let's play that clip.
Senator Wiener, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah, so we want, everyone to be safe, and we also know that, we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women, and so, so if you're trans women are women.
Here he goes, right? Oh, trans women are women, blah, blah, blah. She's about to clock him on this real quick. It's incredible to see. It's one of my favorite parts of the video.
You've done great things with the bills you've passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up, and I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. And I do respect a lot of the things you've done. But I do see a lot of these bills that you've passed that are dangerous for women and young children. And I understand that you're trying to be on a level playing field. And I'm here to represent my community because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills. And I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous and we need your help because you're in the office, you're going to go in the Polisky spot. I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now, and we want to know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women, women. Trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted. Women are women. I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men.
Infuriating. This makes my blood boil, right? You have, and this is, I hope this is like a wake-up call for my black friends on the left or anyone really. This is how white liberals treat black people who say something that they don't believe that we should be allowed to say. Notice that she's speaking her truth from the perspective of a lesbian, by the way, like a member of the LGBT community. She's saying, as a woman, a real woman, a biological woman, I do not feel safe in this environment, and you have all these white liberals around who start booing her, shouting her down and saying, oh, you don't get to believe these things. You gotta check in with massa. You gotta check in with your liberal white massa so that you can get the permission to have these thoughts, the permission to vocalize your pain, what you went through. Obviously, she's emotional. You hear it in her voice in this, but they don't care because they believe that her black thoughts ought to be regulated by what they believe. If that's not racism, I don't know what is. We'll finish this video here.
I was assaulted by one. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
So I think that what she did here was actually really brilliant, because she kind of like put them in this like little bit of a like political quagmire, right? You know that they're literally having an internal meltdown because they're like, oh my God, she just threw out all of the things. She's lesbian, she's black, she's a woman. What do we do? How do we police her? How do we control her? They don't know what to say. Notice that as soon as she stood up and pushed back against them, they all went mute and silent when she started saying those things because they were like, well, oh my God, I don't want to look anti-black. I don't want to look anti-lesbian. I don't want to look anti-this, anti-that. They were so scared. They're probably pissing their pants. And I think that sometimes we've got to use that against them. We've got to throw their delusion in their face and say, okay, these are the rules that y'all want to live by, so let's live by them. You say that if a black woman's talking, how dare you challenge what she has to say? Well, that black woman's talking. So how dare you challenge her about what she has to say? If she says that she doesn't want to be in a locker room with a person with a penis who has a history of domestic violence, who broke a woman's jaw so bad that she had to go through reconstructive surgery to get it fixed, then who are you to discredit her truth? Who are you to say that she doesn't matter? Who are you to say that we should just ignore her anger, her passion? Because I thought that's not the rules that they want to live by, right? I thought we were supposed to listen to black women when they speak. We're not just listen to them when they speak. We're supposed to prioritize what they say, to the point where we ignore other people, right? As Kamala Harris famously said on the debate stage with Mike Pence, Mr. Vice President, I'm talking. She was talking. So how dare they interrupt her? And, you'll see at the end of this clip, we don't have to play it, but it's just Scott Wiener, the guy who's running, I think he's a state senator now or something of the sort, just absolutely starts kind of using her language. He's like, yeah, we need to protect women and we need to figure out, what this line is, which is interesting seeing that even in the wokest area of California, you still have someone like that who is acknowledging the fact that this is not a winning issue for them anymore. I love seeing this. I hope we see more of it. I hope we see more of her. She is obviously just such a firecracker and, absolutely is just speaking truth to power in a way that I hope spreads like wildfire because we need more of that. And I always say, it's everyone's journey to conservatism will be different. As she said, she agrees with a lot of what that state senator guy said, who I said is one of the most progressive politicians in America. But if it's this issue that makes her question where the left stands on every other one, if that's how you do conservatism, everyone's journey is different here. Everyone's journey is different back home, and that's totally fine with me. And hers will be hers. And I think we're going to be welcoming her to the grand old party and to the MAGA movement pretty soon, based on what I saw. Because there's no way home. Once you realize these people actually don't care about your safety, your well-being, they don't actually believe that being a woman is even a thing anymore. Because if they actually believe that it was a real thing, they wouldn't treat it as some costume that you could get at Spirit Halloween. But that's what they do. That's the current state of the modern Democratic Party. That's the current state of the left. And I think once you realize that they don't view you or your identity as having any meaning, then you don't really want to reconcile with those people anymore. You don't want anything to do with them. And it's not surprising why you don't. It's actually just, as I said, common sense.